let's talk about some knives. When it comes to picking out knives, there are so many factors. Size, blade material, handle, weight, there's OTFs, there's folders. Do you get a knife with a clip on it? Do you get a knife with a sheath on it? And then there's blade shape. And today, we're gonna talk about spear point blade shape. I'm gonna use the TK Pro Barracuda as a perfect example of a spear point because a true spear point is gonna be double-edged. It's gonna be symmetrical on both sides, and it's gonna come up to a point and have a center spine, which is exactly what the TK Pro Barracuda has. These are often easily confused with needlepoint and pinpoint style blade shapes, but this is a true spear point. The modern day spear point that we see today comes from its ancestors, the arrowheads. The design came out of necessity from the hunter-gatherer cultures. The pros to using a spear point blade is that the tip of a spear point blade is very strong. There's still a lot of material on the top of that blade. A spear point blade is easy to sharpen. A spear point blade is really easy to use because it is a symmetrical blade. If you have the double edge, it is a symmetrical blade, meaning that weight is really balanced throughout the blade. And it's really good for combat scenarios because of that strong tip, that ability to pierce or thrust. In certain wildlife scenarios, it'd probably be very useful too. So if you're a hunter or a fisherman or something like that, having that ability to pierce something would probably come in handy. A disadvantage to this, if you're taking it out into the wilderness, is it might make it difficult for battening. If you're unfamiliar with what battening is, it's a wood splitting technique. So what you do is you place the blade onto a piece of wood, and then you take a mallet, a hammer, another piece of wood, and you hit that over the top of the blade to push the blade into the wood so it splits easier. So obviously if you're putting something, a material of some sort, maybe a hammer, another piece of wood on top of this blade, this is also going to cut into that material or that object or that thing or whatever. So, you know, that would be a disadvantage to this. On that note, if you're interested in getting yourself a TK Pro Barracuda spear point, head to www.TacKnivesusa.com. I will link this one below. Otherwise, TacKnives has a ton of other spear point options as well, and I'll link a few of those below as well. See you in the next video.